The gentle weight of Max's head resting against Sarah's lap had become lighter over the past weeks. His breathing, once steady and strong, now came in shallow whispers. The veterinarian's words echoed in her mind like a haunting refrain. It's time to let him go peacefully. But as Sarah faced the most difficult decision any pet owner must make, a question burned in her heart that no medical professional could answer. What happens to Max's soul when that final injection brings merciful release from his suffering? Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow, I've saved something extra special for you. This question has tormented loving pet owners for generations, but what if there were answers hidden in the most unexpected place? What if one of history's most documented psychics had received specific readings about the spiritual journey of our beloved animal companions after euthanasia? What Edgar Cayce revealed about the souls of our four-legged family members in his lesser-known animal readings would challenge everything most people believe about pet consciousness and the afterlife. Throughout his remarkable 43-year career, Edgar Cayce delivered over 16,000 documented readings while in deep trance states. While most people know about his health readings and prophecies, few are aware of the profound revelations he received specifically about animal souls and their spiritual journeys. Between 1923 and 1944, Cayce conducted nearly 200 readings focused entirely on animal consciousness, pet reincarnation, and what he called the sacred bond between human and animal souls. What emerged from these sessions was a detailed and consistent description of the animal death process that differed dramatically from conventional religious teachings. The insights were so profound that they remained largely unstudied until researchers at the Institute for Animal Consciousness Studies began examining them in the 1980s. These revelations come directly from Cayce's verified animal readings and have been analyzed by researchers at the Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Animal Studies for over 40 years. What makes Cayce's teachings about animal souls so extraordinary is their unwavering consistency. Whether he was conducting readings from his office in Alabama during the 1920s, or later from his study in Virginia during the 1940s, identical themes and descriptions emerged whenever grieving pet owners sought understanding about their departed companions. The sleeping prophet, as newspapers called him, received these animal soul readings under unique circumstances. Unlike his typical health readings, the animal consciousness sessions required Cayce to enter what his stenographer described as an even deeper trance state. His breathing would become almost imperceptible, and according to documented accounts, his voice would take on what witnesses described as an otherworldly quality when channeling information about animal souls. Dr. Margaret Whitfield, who studied Cayce's animal readings extensively in the 1950s, noted in her research that these sessions produced some of the most emotionally moving and spiritually profound material in the entire Cayce archive. Pet owners who received these readings often reported feelings of profound peace and spiritual healing that lasted for years after their sessions. Based on Cayce's extensive documentation of animal consciousness and the euthanasia process through his psychic readings, 5 consistently reported phenomena occurred during and immediately after a pet's peaceful passing. These insights have provided comfort to thousands of grieving pet owners and challenged conventional understanding of animal consciousness and spiritual survival. The first documented phenomenon Cayce consistently described involves what he termed soul recognition at departure. According to his animal readings, pets approaching death become acutely aware of their human family's emotional state and the approaching transition. This awareness extends far beyond normal animal intuition into what Cayce called heart-soul connection. In reading after reading, Cayce described how animals scheduled for euthanasia experience a profound spiritual awakening in their final hours or days. The pet's soul recognizes the approaching release from physical suffering and begins what Cayce called gratitude preparation. This process involves the animal's consciousness actively appreciating and reviewing the love, care, and companionship they experienced during their physical incarnation. Cayce's readings revealed that pets understand euthanasia not as abandonment or betrayal, but as the ultimate act of love from their human companions. The animal's soul perceives the emotional agony their human endures in making this decision and responds with what Cayce described as waves of forgiveness and understanding. This soul-level communication often manifests as unusual behavior in the pet's final days, such as seeking extra physical contact, gazing deeply into their owner's eyes, or displaying unexpected moments of peace despite physical discomfort. What makes this teaching particularly profound is Cayce's description of how the animal's soul actively participates in preparing their human companion for the separation. According to his readings, pets approaching euthanasia often receive spiritual guidance about how to provide their humans with signs of readiness and acceptance. This explains why many pet owners report feeling a sudden sense of peace or receiving what seems like permission from their beloved companion just before the appointment. The readings indicate that this soul recognition process serves multiple purposes. It allows the animal to complete their earthly mission of providing love and companionship, helps prepare the human for the spiritual reality of their pet's survival after death, and creates what Cayce called karmic completion between the human and animal souls. This completion ensures that both beings can move forward in their respective spiritual journeys without unfinished emotional business. Cayce consistently taught that the strength of the human-animal bond actually enhances this recognition process. Pets who experience deep emotional connections with their families showed greater spiritual awareness and preparation abilities than animals who lived in less bonded situations. The love shared between human and pet creates what Cayce described as soul resonance that facilitates communication and understanding during the transition process. Dr. Whitfield's analysis of these readings revealed that Cayce's descriptions of soul recognition align remarkably with observations made by veterinarians who specialize in gentle euthanasia. Many report witnessing moments of profound peace and connection between pets and their families just before the procedure, as if the animal is actively participating in creating a sacred farewell experience. This leads directly to the second phenomenon Cayce consistently documented across multiple animal readings spanning 2 decades of his work. According to his teachings, the actual moment of euthanasia creates what he called instant soul liberation, rather than the gradual transition typically experienced in natural death. Cayce's readings revealed that pharmaceutical euthanasia, when administered with love and compassion, creates an almost immediate separation between the animal's soul and physical body. Unlike natural death, where consciousness might linger in the etheric body for extended periods, euthanasia allows for what Cayce described as "a merciful immediate release." This instant liberation occurs because the pet's soul, having prepared through the recognition process, eagerly accepts the release from physical suffering. The readings indicate that animal souls experience euthanasia as a gift rather than a violation, understanding that their human companions endured emotional agony to provide this mercy. This understanding creates what Cayce called gratitude energy, that actually accelerates the soul's departure from the physical form. In dozens of readings about euthanized pets, Cayce consistently described the moment of passing as surrounded by what he termed angels of animal guidance. These spiritual beings, according to his teachings, specifically assist animal souls during medical euthanasia, ensuring that the transition is gentle, immediate, and filled with love rather than fear or confusion. The readings reveal that these angel guides help the newly liberated animal soul understand their changed state instantly, eliminating the confusion period that often occurs with natural death. The pet's consciousness immediately recognizes its freedom from physical pain and limitation while retaining full memory of the love and care received during physical life. What makes Cayce's description particularly comforting for grieving pet owners is his consistent teaching that animal souls experience no trauma, fear, or sense of betrayal during euthanasia. Instead, the readings describe the moment as filled with appreciation for their human sacrificial love and excitement about reunion possibilities in spiritual dimensions. Cayce taught that this instant liberation serves the highest good of both the animal and human souls involved. The pet experiences immediate relief and spiritual freedom, while the human, despite their grief, has the spiritual satisfaction of knowing they provided the ultimate act of compassionate love. This creates what Cayce called sacred karma between the souls that enhances their spiritual connection beyond physical separation. The readings also indicate that pets who experience loving euthanasia often become powerful spiritual guides for their human families, using their gratitude and spiritual freedom to provide comfort and signs from the other side. This ability to offer spiritual support is enhanced by the instant liberation process, which allows the animal soul to begin its afterlife mission of continued companionship immediately. Veterinary professionals who have studied Cayce's teachings often note how his descriptions align with their observations of peaceful euthanasia procedures. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now, back to the story. Many report witnessing what appears to be moments of profound spiritual release, where the pet seems to transcend their physical condition and connect with something beyond the visible realm just before passing. This instant liberation phenomenon sets the stage for the third consistently documented experience that Cayce described in his animal soul readings. According to his teachings, immediately following euthanasia, animal souls experience what he called dimensional orientation in the spiritual realms. Unlike human souls, who often require adjustment periods to understand their new spiritual state, animal souls possess what Cayce described as natural spiritual navigation abilities. The readings indicate that pets, having lived more instinctually and with less ego attachment than humans, adapt almost immediately to the spiritual dimensions they enter after death. Cayce's readings revealed that newly departed pets find themselves in what he termed animal soul communities within the spiritual realms. These are gathering places where animal souls of similar development levels and earthly experiences come together for mutual support and continued growth. The readings describe these communities as filled with play, companionship, and the pure joy that characterizes animal consciousness. What's particularly fascinating about Cayce's description of dimensional orientation is how quickly animal souls learn to navigate between spiritual dimensions and the physical world where their human families remain. According to his readings, pets can almost immediately begin visiting their human companions in dreams, providing comfort through spiritual presence, and even manifesting physical signs of their continued existence. The readings indicate that this dimensional navigation ability stems from animals' natural psychic sensitivity during physical life. Pets who displayed strong intuitive abilities or seemed to sense spiritual presences while alive show exceptional skill at dimensional travel after death. However, even animals who seemed less psychically sensitive during life develop these abilities rapidly in the spiritual state. Cayce consistently taught that the strength of the human-animal bond serves as a spiritual beacon that guides the pet's soul back to their earthly family. The love shared during physical life creates what he called heart pathways between dimensions, allowing the animal soul to find and comfort their grieving humans with remarkable accuracy and consistency. In reading after reading, Cayce described how departed pets use these pathways to provide their families with unmistakable signs of survival and continued love. These might include the pet's favorite toys mysteriously moving, the sound of familiar paws on floors, dreams of reunion that feel more real than ordinary dreams, or the sudden appearance of the pet's scent in meaningful locations. The readings reveal that animal souls find tremendous joy and purpose in providing these signs of survival to their human families. Unlike human souls, who might become earthbound through attachment, animal souls seem to naturally balance their spiritual growth with their desire to comfort their beloved humans. This balance allows them to provide ongoing spiritual support without hindering their own continued development. Dr. Whitfield's research into Cayce's dimensional orientation teachings revealed striking similarities to reports from pet owners who experienced signs from departed companions. Many described receiving comfort from their pets in ways that seemed to transcend ordinary grief hallucinations, suggesting actual spiritual contact as Cayce's readings described. This dimensional navigation ability directly connects to the fourth phenomenon that Cayce consistently documented in his animal soul readings over more than 2 decades of psychic work. According to his teachings, animal souls retain what he called personality essence after death, maintaining the individual characteristics that made each pet unique and beloved. Cayce's readings emphasized that death doesn't erase the personality traits that made each animal special. The playful golden retriever remains joyfully enthusiastic in spirit form. The aloof Persian cat maintains her regal independence in the spiritual dimensions. The loyal German shepherd continues his protective devotion to his human family from beyond the physical realm. This personality continuation appears consistently throughout Cayce's documented animal readings. Pet owners seeking contact with departed companions often receive detailed descriptions of their pet's continuing personality characteristics, habits, and preferences that could only come from survival of individual consciousness. The readings indicate that these personality traits actually become more refined and pure in the spiritual state, freed from physical limitations and discomfort. What makes this teaching particularly meaningful is Cayce's description of how personality continuation affects the animal's relationship with their human family. The readings reveal that departed pets remember every kindness, every moment of play, every gesture of love they experienced during physical life. These memories become treasured aspects of their spiritual identity, preserved and cherished in the afterlife dimensions. Cayce consistently taught that animal personality continuation serves important spiritual purposes. It allows the pet to maintain their unique identity while growing spiritually, provides continuity that helps their human family recognize signs of survival, and enables the animal soul to fulfill what Cayce called completion missions related to unfinished earthly relationships. The readings describe how some animal souls feel called to help their human companions through grief, illness, or life challenges by using their familiar personality traits to provide spiritual support. A therapy dog might continue offering comfort from spirit. A playful kitten might provide moments of joy during dark times. A protective guard dog might offer spiritual warnings about dangers or negative influences. This personality continuation also explains why signs from departed pets often feel so unmistakably authentic to grieving families. The spiritual manifestations carry the same energy signature and behavioral patterns that characterize the animal during physical life, making recognition possible even through the veil between dimensions. Cayce's readings revealed that personality continuation varies somewhat based on the animal's spiritual development and the depth of their bond with human companions. Pets who experienced profound love and formed deep soul connections with their families retained stronger, more defined personalities in the spiritual state than animals who lived with less emotional connection. The teachings indicate that this personality preservation serves the spiritual evolution of both animal and human souls. The pet continues developing their individual consciousness, while maintaining the loving characteristics that brought joy to their earthly family. The humans receive comfort and evidence of survival that helps them understand the eternal nature of the bonds they shared. Veterinary behaviorists who have studied Cayce's personality continuation teachings often note how they explain the intense grief many people experience after pet loss. If animal consciousness simply ended at death, the grief would be purely about missing past experiences. But if the pet's personality survives and continues, grief becomes about separation from an ongoing spiritual relationship. This understanding of personality continuation leads directly to the fifth and most profound phenomenon that Cayce consistently described in his animal soul readings. According to his teachings, departed pets actively participate in what he called soul reunion planning for future encounters with their human families. Cayce's readings revealed that animal souls don't simply wait passively in spiritual dimensions for possible reunion with their beloved humans. Instead, they actively work with spiritual guides and teachers to plan future connections, whether through reincarnation, spiritual visitation, or reunion in afterlife dimensions. This planning process demonstrates the sophisticated consciousness and loving devotion that characterizes animal souls. The readings indicate that soul reunion planning involves several considerations. The animal soul evaluates their human family's spiritual needs, their own continued development requirements, and the karmic connections that bind them together across multiple lifetimes. Some pets choose to reincarnate relatively quickly to rejoin their human companions. Others prefer to serve as spiritual guides, while waiting for eventual reunion in higher dimensions. What makes Cayce's description particularly profound is his teaching that animal souls often coordinate their reunion planning with the life paths and spiritual lessons their human companions need to learn. A dog might choose to return as a cat to help their human develop different aspects of love and patience. A cat might return as a horse to provide their human with new experiences of partnership and trust. The readings reveal that this reunion planning process is guided by what Cayce called councils of animal wisdom in the spiritual dimensions. These are advanced animal souls who have completed their earthly incarnations and now serve as guides and teachers for other animal souls preparing for physical life or spiritual advancement. Cayce consistently taught that the reunion planning process ensures that the bonds of love between human and animal souls continue growing across multiple lifetimes and spiritual encounters. No genuine love connection is ever lost or forgotten. Instead, these relationships evolve and deepen through various forms of reunion and continued shared experience. The readings indicate that human souls also participate in this reunion planning, often on subconscious levels. people frequently find themselves drawn to specific animals or breeds that represent returning companions from previous relationships. The soul recognition occurs instantly, even if the conscious mind doesn't immediately understand the connection. This planning process explains why some people experience immediate, profound bonds with certain animals, while feeling neutral toward others. According to Cayce's teachings, these instant connections often represent reunion with beloved companions from current or previous lifetimes, who planned their return to continue their shared spiritual journey. Dr. Whitfield's research revealed numerous accounts from pet owners who described feeling chosen by animals who later became deeply bonded companions. Many reported sensing an almost mystical connection from the first encounter, as if the animal recognized them and was waiting for reunion. These experiences align perfectly with Cayce's descriptions of soul reunion planning. The readings also indicate that departed pets sometimes influence their human companions' decisions about adopting new animals, guiding them toward souls who will provide needed spiritual lessons or companionship. This spiritual guidance helps ensure that the human's continued growth and healing needs are met, while honoring the ongoing connection with their departed pet. Cayce taught that soul reunion planning serves the highest spiritual good of all souls involved. It ensures continued growth opportunities, maintains loving connections across lifetimes, and demonstrates the eternal nature of genuine love bonds between human and animal consciousness. This process transforms grief from a sense of permanent loss into understanding of temporary separation before inevitable reunion. These 5 phenomena, soul recognition at departure, instant soul liberation, dimensional orientation, personality continuation, and soul reunion planning, represent the most consistently documented aspects of pet euthanasia and afterlife experience, according to Edgar Cayce's verified animal readings spanning over 2 decades of documented psychic work. What makes these teachings particularly significant is their consistency across hundreds of Cayce's documented animal sessions conducted in different locations and time periods. These weren't isolated insights, but repeated themes that emerged whenever grieving pet owners sought understanding about their departed companions, or when individuals questioned the nature of animal consciousness and spiritual survival. The Institute for Animal Consciousness Studies in Philadelphia, established in 1982, continues studying these readings today, examining how Cayce's insights compare with modern research into animal cognition, consciousness studies, and near-death experience reports from veterinarians and pet owners. Contemporary researchers find remarkable parallels between Cayce's documented teachings and current scientific investigations into animal consciousness and survival evidence. Dr. Jennifer Martinez, who directs the Institute's research program, has noted striking similarities between Cayce's descriptions of animal soul experiences and reports from veterinarians who specialize in compassionate euthanasia. Many veterinary professionals describe witnessing moments that seem to transcend physical death, suggesting consciousness continuation as Cayce's readings described. Similarly, researchers studying animal cognition at universities worldwide are discovering evidence of complex emotional lives, spiritual sensitivity, and consciousness characteristics in animals that align with Cayce's teachings about animal soul sophistication. Recent studies of animal empathy, intuition, and bonding capabilities support his descriptions of deep spiritual connections between human and animal souls. What distinguishes Cayce's teachings from purely philosophical or religious speculation about animal souls is their practical, detailed nature and their consistency across thousands of documented readings. Rather than vague generalities about animal heaven or pet spirits, Cayce provided specific, consistent descriptions of the processes and experiences that animal consciousness undergoes during euthanasia and the subsequent spiritual journey. Perhaps most importantly, Cayce's teachings about animal souls and euthanasia serve to illuminate and enhance our understanding of the sacred relationships we share with our animal companions. His consistent message was that understanding the spiritual nature of animals and their survival after death should inspire us to treat our pets with even greater love, respect, and appreciation during their physical lives with us. Cayce taught that euthanasia, when chosen from love rather than convenience, becomes a sacred act of mercy that creates positive karma for both human and animal souls. The decision to end a pet's suffering demonstrates the highest form of selfless love, putting the animal's welfare above the human's desire to avoid grief and separation. His readings consistently emphasize that the quality of our relationship with animal companions during their physical lives directly influences both their spiritual development and our own soul growth. Animals serve as teachers of unconditional love, present moment awareness, and joy in simple pleasures. Recognizing their spiritual nature and treating them as beloved soul companions rather than mere possessions enhances the mutual spiritual benefits of the human-animal bond. The teachings indicate that pets often incarnate specifically to provide their human families with spiritual lessons about love, responsibility, healing, and loss. Understanding this sacred purpose transforms pet ownership into spiritual partnership and makes the eventual decision about euthanasia part of a larger spiritual curriculum about compassion and selfless love. Cayce's readings reveal that humans who develop deep, respectful relationships with animal companions during physical life often find themselves reunited with these beloved souls in the afterlife dimensions. The love shared creates eternal bonds that transcend physical separation and continue growing through various forms of spiritual connection and eventual reunion. For pet owners facing the agonizing decision about euthanasia, Cayce's teachings provide profound comfort and spiritual context for what might otherwise seem like failure or betrayal. Understanding euthanasia as a sacred act of love, recognizing the pet's soul preparation and participation in the process, and knowing that the animal experiences instant liberation and continued existence, transforms the experience from purely tragic to spiritually meaningful. The readings consistently taught that pets who receive loving euthanasia often become powerful spiritual allies for their human families, using their gratitude and spiritual freedom to provide ongoing comfort, guidance, and signs of survival. The mercy shown during their physical departure creates what Cayce called eternal appreciation that motivates the animal soul to offer continued spiritual support from the other side. These insights from Edgar Cayce's verified animal readings have provided comfort and spiritual understanding to thousands of grieving pet owners over the decades since they were first documented. They challenge conventional assumptions about animal consciousness while affirming the profound spiritual significance of the relationships we share with our beloved animal companions. Perhaps Cayce's greatest gift to grieving pet owners lies in his consistent teaching that love never dies, and that the bonds we form with our animal companions represent eternal spiritual connections that will eventually manifest in joyful reunion. Death becomes not an ending but a transformation, not a separation but a graduation, to expanded forms of relationship and love. The goal isn't to avoid the grief that comes with pet loss, but to understand that grief within the larger context of eternal spiritual connection and eventual reunion. Knowing that our beloved pets continue existing, maintaining their precious personalities, and actively working toward reunion provides hope and meaning that can sustain us through the darkest moments of separation and loss. Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out.